see growth. I've seen many people go through the Competent Communicator program and became stellar speakers at the end. So I know Jake didn't have the fear and the death grip on the lectern, but he is our first speaker today. But before I tell a little bit about Jake, I don't know what kind of speech he's doing. Gabe?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Today I will be evaluating Jake, not from State Farm. And his project is number 2, and it is Organize Your Speech. His objectives today are to select an appropriate outline which allow listeners to easily follow and understand his speech, to make his message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message, use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, and to create a strong opening and conclusion. This time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Jake, along with his wife, Marcella, are leaders in their church group. They run a ministry of about 30 people, and they have life groups of about 40 people. They would have, been able to do their ministry without developing, is it selflessness?
No,
Without developing, well, being selfless is a lifestyle. And now, and they keep on learning that particular lifestyle. They are excited to be here, and they want to take the skills that they're learning from Toastmasters to encourage others. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Jake Widmer. I do that a lot. Jake Widmer, Selfless. Jake. Oh, thank you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
How are we this morning?
Fantastic.
Blessed, right? All right, good. So, does anyone here know the main difference from being a winner or a whiner? Oh, close, Bill. It is in the sound of the I. In the word winner, the letter I puts the emphasis on all the other letters. In the word whiner, the letter I takes the emphasis away from the others. Whether we are selfish or we are selfless, the letter I will always remain. It's where you put the emphasis that will make all the difference. You see, here in America, selfishness is becoming more and more prevalent in society. It's about me. We see this in the way our children are being raised and the way our marriages are being handled. What do I get out of this? If you don't like what I'm doing, who cares? I'm out of here. Who needs you anyways? I have all that I need. Me. Sounds like the I is taking the emphasis away from the others. A mentor of mine told me a story once. He told me the story of how he was on an international flight. During the last 3 hours of this international flight, he actually struck up a conversation with the individual who was sitting next to him. This individual was a businessman, a very important businessman out of, I believe, Malaysia. He struck up the conversation just by asking him questions. Question after question. He was interested in him. When it was time to go their own way, the businessman told my mentor to hold on. He looked at my mentor and he told him that he was the most interesting person that he had ever met. Why? Simply because my mentor was more interested in him than himself. And for that, he became the most interesting person. He didn't even have to do a Dos Equis commercial to get that. He took the emphasis off of I and put it on another. He made the businessman feel special. In my humble opinion, fellow Toastmasters, I believe that the most selfish thing that we can do is to become selfless. When you put others before yourself, naturally you will get the greatest return on your investment. Being selfless is what the world needs right now. We need it in all relationships, especially in our homes. If fathers were to become more selfless, there would be more in the home, raising their children together with the mothers. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are approximately 13.7 million single parents in the USA today. Those parents are responsible for raising 22 million children. Shockingly, those figures, 22 million children, represent 26% of all youth under the age of 21 in the U.S. It starts in the home. In marriages, when we take vows at the altar, we are declaring to the world and to God that we will be selfless. In good times and bad, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. Sure, it's easy to be selfless in good times. It's easy to be selfless when things are better. And it's certainly easy to be selfless when we feel good or in complete health. But the true sign of selflessness is when we aren't getting the initial benefit. It's easy, in theory, yet hard to implement. It's easy, yet hard to lift someone else up when we ourselves need a lift. It's easy, yet hard to be concerned with how others are feeling when you, yourself, don't feel like being concerned. It's easy to take the high road and put the focus on ourselves. I submit to you today, fellow Toastmasters, let's be difference makers throughout our circles of influence. Let's be difference makers in our home. Let's be difference makers in our children's lives. Let's be initiators. Initiate change by being the change that you want to see. If you want people to be courteous and kind to you, start off by being a person who is caring and loving to others first. If you want more clients in your business, be a person who gives so much value that it would be hard for that client to go anywhere else. Be a winner, not a whiner. Winners are always putting others before themselves. Whiners are always muttering, "Why me?" Winners understand selflessness is easy, in theory, yet hard to implement. But they also know that the hardest things in life are the most rewarding. It's time, fellow Toastmasters, to be the lid lifters of our generation. It's time to lead others from a selfless heart. It's time to be initiators of change. All of you in this room are champions. You are sacrificing your time on a Saturday morning when you yourself could be in bed, sleeping in. You are growing yourselves in order to be of some help for others. I don't know exactly what each of your intentions are here, but I can be certain that most of you are here because you want to be an agent of change. You want to be an inspiration. Thank you for being selfless, for setting the path and showing me and my wife how to be a Toastmaster. Your I has put the emphasis on others. It's easy, yet hard. But I'm very confident that your heart will become very rewarding. Thank you.